Hello and welcome to another presentation of News Club presented by Mr. Smith in a sports coat. We have lots of news to get to today. Our first story is about San Diego. As of all our stories are actually going to be a part of San Diego, this one specifically entails the fact that we have an old tree in our city. In fact, the oldest one can be found in Balboa. We have Mr. Smith reporting live from Balboa. Mr. Smith, to you.
That's right, Mr. Smith. I'm here at Balboa Park, where the Morton Fig Tree is the home to the oldest tree here in San Diego. There were trees in Old Town that were up to 180 years old that had to be cut down because of poisoning. However, since 1985, this has now become the oldest tree in all of San Diego. It was brought here as part of an exposition with Panama in 1915. So with that math, this is now 106 years old, this tree before me. It's kind of amazing, considering that it's also native to Australia. This Morton fig is not found in America normally. This stays native to Eastern Australia. And because of that, we now know that these trees can live up to 500 years old. This one being at 105 has already grown 140 feet in length and up to 80 feet high in certain parts. Quite amazing. Standing before it now, you could take it all in and see it for all its greatness. I hope to be around as long as this tree is. 500 years, that's a long time. Until next time, this has been Mr. Smith reporting. Back to you.
Thank you for that report, Mr. Smith. 500 years, that's quite a long time. And if I might say so myself, that's some really good shade, so it looks like it'll be worth it for the city of San Diego. What's this? We have another breaking report. It sounds like Mr. Smith has already gotten there. Yes, it's about a school you may know a lot about, or you may have heard Mr. Smith mention before, Porter Elementary, where I'm currently teaching. Let's learn a little bit something more about it. Mr. Smith, to you.
I'm here, Mr. Smith. It's a long run from Balboa. I'm here. Sorry. Hi, I'm here. Live at Walter J. Porter Elementary. Some of you may be very familiar with this elementary school. This is currently where I am teaching. I'm in my second year here, teaching a 4-5 combo this year. However, Walter J. Porter, many of us might not even know who that is. And it's very different than a lot of schools here in San Diego that are named after national heroes. People like John Adams, George Washington, Abraham Lincoln. A lot of those schools have their names and a lot of people know about it. But Walter J. Porter isn't a national hero, he's a local hero here in San Diego. And he's known for a lot of great work in education specifically. For 20 years, he was the dean of the San Diego Community College District. And he was also assistant professor at San Diego State, as well in the community and helping out specifically in the community here. He was the head of the San Diego chapter of the NAACP, which helps to promote education for all and equality for all, which Mr. Smith is definitely all about. So, but more importantly, and this is where I got a lot of interesting facts about Walter J. Porter. He loved education, of course, boom, I love that, but he also was a huge fan of arts. He was a painter, was always a fan of other arts, going to musicals, things like that. And little odd fact is he was also known for being a ventriloquist. For those of you who don't know, that's someone who's able to have a dummy or a puppet on their hand and throw their voice and have another voice and have a full-on conversation. Very talented. I don't know if there's any clips out there. I didn't find any, but very interesting to know. And good to know what kind of person our school is named after. Someone who did a lot for the community here in San Diego. Well, this is Mr. Smith reporting. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I guess I'll be out to the next place, wherever that is.
Wow, ventriloquist. Interesting indeed, Mr. Smith. Thank you very much for that report. I'm not entirely sure that you have... Wait, he does have somewhere else to be. Yes, Coronado Island. We have a report about the history behind Coronado Bridge. Yes, Mr. Smith, are you there?
It's a lot harder to do in a tie than it looks. Get this stuff right. Thank you, Mr. Smith. One second. All right, I'm here on Coronado Island in front of the Coronado Bridge, very famous San Diego bridge. Not a lot of people know why, when, or how it was built. Here's a little info for you today. In the 1920s, people first wanted a bridge connecting Coronado to San Diego, but at first it was shot down from the Navy. They said they didn't want the chance of an earthquake destroying the bridge and leaving people trapped and the Navy trapped, because there is a base here on Coronado still functioning today. However, in the 1950s, steam and pressure to build a bridge picked up when a lot more commuting was going on, a lot more tourism, and a lot more people living on what is a beautiful part of San Diego, Coronado Island. Lots of beaches, great shops, things like that. Eventually, someone was hired to make this bridge. His name was Robert Mosher. I believe he was French. Don't quote me on it. However, he was hired to build what was ostensibly a really tough job, because he had to make a bridge connecting the two islands, but he also had to make sure that the bay was cleared for any passage. They wanted to make sure that ships could keep going underneath this bridge. It wouldn't block that from happening. So that's exactly what he did. And he did so by building what are 30 pillars along the whole bridge that hold it up. That is to separate it and not keep it in one place and to block areas. Doing so also creates a nice viewpoint. It's also always lit up at night. It's the oldest bridge in San Diego by far, and at one point it was actually a toll bridge. You actually had to pay to come across. That was actually used to help fund the bridge, the construction of it. So I believe it's the first 20 years there was a toll for it. Now completely free if you want to come to Coronado, enjoy the lovely weather, the lovely beach, the lovely parks, which is right here on the end of the bridge. So come on down. Hopefully this is the last place, Mr. Smith, but we'll see. Maybe there's somewhere else. Should I start running now? Okay, all right, fine, I'll go.
Wow, thank you very much, Mr. Smith. It's always great to learn something new about things you don't really think about, like a bridge. Coronado is something I always drive by and on, so good to know that it's there to support me in case there is an earthquake. There is one more story, though, Mr. Smith, and I'm pretty sure you're there in enough time to cover it. It's about Mission Trails, a part of San Diego and specifically East County that is a large and really memorable part of it. Let's get to Mr. Smith about some of those details about Mission Trails.
That's right, Mr. Smith. I finally made it. We're here at wonderful Mission Trails. 7,000 plus acres. I didn't just go through all of it, but as you can see, not all of it is flat. And it is the 6th largest park in the world. Yes, municipally owned. Does not include state parks. Yeah, because it's not a part of the state, but it is the 6th largest in the United States and the largest in California in terms of size. 7,000 plus acres. And it's a very old park in terms of how long it's been recognized and preserved since 1974. It's known as one of the starting points for the San Diego River that unfortunately no longer runs like it used to, but maybe you can hear in the background, occasionally it does flow, occasional points in the season, but I'm actually standing in what was once part of the riverbed, so it is not quite the size it used to be. However, Mission Trails is full of lots of hikes, lots of adventures, lots of things to check out. Be sure to check it out if you can, and join all the great parts of San Diego. Please tell me this is the last one I go to, Mr. Smith, but until then, back to you.
Well, there you have it. That was some great reporting about some great aspects of San Diego that you may not have known about. Some great facts, some interesting details, and some stories that you might not have heard of. Thanks again for your reporting, Mr. Smith, and until next time, have a good day, a good night, and most importantly, don't forget, yee!